Liverpool may have just received a significant lift in their pursuit of one of England's most promising young midfielders. Fresh reports suggest that a key development could pave the way for a move that has long been on the club's radar, and it involves Adam Wharton. The Crystal Palace starlet, who has impressed since his Premier League breakthrough, could now be closer than ever to a potential Anfield switch. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. But first, Arne Slot is now into his second Premier League season, and he has explained that one rule in particular annoys him a bit, but that he would have gladly seen it enforced at Galatasaray. Slot will not be alone in having one particular rule that rubs him up the wrong way. Supporters up and down the country will feel the same, especially when they are constantly tweaked. For Liverpool's head coach, it is the protocol that sees players who receive on-pitch treatment have to leave the field for at least 30 seconds. It was introduced in 2023/24 to help reduce time wasting, but Slot is not its biggest fan, although he could see how it would have been useful during the recent trip to Galatasaray. When talking to Sky Sports about his options from the bench, Slot said, "The game against Galatasaray in the first hour, I was waiting for us to score a goal, but after I made the substitutions that last half hour, we hardly created a chance. That not only had to do with the players I brought in, that's not what I want to say, but that also had to do with that we hardly played, they were on the floor every single minute. Sometimes in the Premier League, I'm a bit annoyed by the rule that if a player gets injury treatment, he has to go out for 30 seconds, because sometimes he definitely needs one. But after playing this week in Galatasaray, I would have loved to have that rule in the Champions League as well, because I think they were 4 or 5 times on the floor with treatment of 1 minute. And they were on the sidelines and could just immediately run onto the pitch again. Against Galatasaray, the ball was in play for just 50.5% of the match, with the home side wasting a total of 29 minutes and 8 seconds. There is a caveat to the rule that sees players have to come off the pitch, and that is when an offending player is shown a yellow card, but whether it discourages feigning injuries will have a difference of opinions. Now in a huge Adam Wharton to Liverpool boost, Adam Wharton has Liverpool among his suitors, but Crystal Palace are planning new contract talks with the midfielder as transfer interest grows. Wharton's reputation in the Premier League is growing week on week, and although he remains overlooked for England's senior squad, he is a player in demand. According to the Mail Simon Jones, Liverpool continue to show interest, as do Real Madrid, with Bayern Munich, Man City, Chelsea and Tottenham also name-checked. At the back end of last season, reports stated Palace valued the 21-year-old at up to £60 million, but Jones has claimed that value is now in the £75 million bracket. It is another sizable markup on the midfielder, but it is in keeping with the ability he possesses, and Palace are now planning to offer improved terms and a potential release clause. The latter will be of keen interest to his suitors, who will have kept tabs on how Palace operated over the summer. Eberechi Eze had a £68 million release clause in his contract, but neither Tottenham nor Arsenal triggered it before the deadline as they deemed it too expensive. The Gunners eventually signed Eze for £67.5 million, as Palace were able to leverage the interest from the North London rivals. Wharton, whose current deal runs until 2029 without a release clause, will be more than aware of the interest he has from clubs across Europe, and Palace will know a bidding war is possible. The 21-year-old is well regarded for his line-breaking passes from the base of midfield, a hard-working deep-line creator who would tick plenty of boxes for Liverpool. As per FOTMob, no player has created more chances than Wharton, 5 in the Premier League so far, while FBref have him in the top 7% of midfielders across Europe for shot-creating actions, 3.94 made per 90 minutes. At just 21 with 104 senior club appearances, Wharton has an incredibly high ceiling and would elevate Liverpool's midfield options. All things considered, Liverpool's continued admiration for Adam Wharton makes perfect sense. The midfielder's mix of composure, vision, and defensive discipline fits neatly into Arne Slot's evolving system, while his age and potential make him an ideal long-term investment. Palace's move to open contract talks and insert a possible release clause may complicate any short-term pursuit, but it also gives Liverpool a clearer picture of what it would take to secure his signature. If Wharton maintains his current trajectory, the battle for his services could become one of the defining transfer stories of 2025, and Liverpool appear determined to be right in the thick of it. In other news, Liverpool has consistently demonstrated its knack for managing big players, significant deals, and crucial decisions. Rarely does a player leave Anfield to achieve greater success elsewhere, with the Reds typically maximising the peak years of their players before they depart. This approach was put to the test last season, when Mohamed Salah, who celebrated his 33rd birthday in the summer, saw another lucrative contract to stay with the Premier League champions. Despite data suggesting that age might soon take its toll, his on-pitch performances told a different story. Last term, Salah had one of his most successful seasons, netting 34 goals. Only during his debut season did the Egyptian find the back of the net more times. However, this season has started off at a slower pace, leading some skeptics to suggest that the warning signs were already there. Salah signed his new contract on April 11th. Liverpool were practically champions by then, and everything seemed to be moving in the right direction. However, their prolific striker's scoring rate would soon start to decline. In the final 9 matches of the previous season, he scored twice. So far this season, he's found the back of the net twice. This means that since failing to score against Everton in early April, Salah has scored 4 times in 16 matches, an average of 1 goal every 4 games. For a player whose main asset is scoring goals, the statistics are not adding up. Even his creative output has significantly declined. He's provided 3 assists in his last 17 league matches. Meanwhile, Liverpool's own problems are being regularly highlighted, possibly drawing even more attention to the lack of contribution from their number 11. For Arne Slot, it has been a summer of transformation. The expectation was that he would build on a dominant season as Liverpool aim for back-to-back titles for the first time in 37 years. Instead, the substantial investment in the squad appears to have thrown everything off balance. 5 victories in the first 5 matches masked serious issues, the kind of issues that even Salah seems to have fallen victim to. Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike have both been brought in to spearhead the attack, but so far there's no clear answer to who plays where. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.